Welcome in to Stand Bounds, the sports podcast of the people. I'm your host, Kari P. I'm here alongside Howard and K-Wall. Howard back from his business trip. How you doing, bro?
Hey man, I'm glad to be back. I was waiting for this.
I mean,
That's
we
okay.
glad to have you back, man.
That. Yo, the trade deadline is soon, and a few trades that already happened. It's crazy. One of the major ones that happened so far is there been Covington, CJ McCollum, the bonus. So we're gonna start off with the Clippers getting Robert Covington and Norman Powell, and the Blazers get Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a 2025 second round pick. What y'all think about this trade?
If I'm Norman Powell, because Covington is what he is. If I'm Norman Powell, it's like a smack in the face. So for real. This is what y'all got from me. Bledsoe, who they probably gonna buy out. Justice Winslow ain't been relevant in God knows how long.
Yeah.
Whatever Keon Johnson is, I never even heard of that dude until the other day. That's probably the most shine that dude has ever had in his life. And a pick. That's all I'm worth to y'all. I don't bled, sweat, all that. That's all y'all could get. And y'all send me to the Clippers.
Yo, you're going to LA. You're going to LA from Portland. You don't feel like that's great?
LA for my personal life, yes. It's perfect, beautiful. I bet you the women are 30 times better than they are in Portland. No offense to all the ladies in Oregon, but hey, I mean, shit. If the shoe fits, you know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of inevitable because it's like, what is it called? He's a cap casualty. You know what I'm saying? It's good for the Clippers because he's a decent player. You know what I'm saying? He can hoop. You know what I'm saying? And he could come off the bench and get them points, or he could mix in on certain offensive units that they want to use when Kawhi and PG come back. And it takes the load off Reggie Jackson, so we don't have to try and be something that he's not. He could just be a point guard and get them 10, 12 a night and be good. Because Bledsoe wasn't giving them nothing. Winslow's not a scorer, really. And Keon Johnson, I don't know if he's ever played any games or not. I'm not trying to like drag his name or anything.
Player.
Yeah, he's interesting, but I doubt he cracks their timeline for their future. He's just gonna be there. Covington actually is interesting too as well because he kind of can guard all four positions with his defense.
Yep.
And that kind of team like that already has Nick Batum that does that. So when they have them defensive units, when they need to get a stop, you sub in him and Batum, run it with Ibaka, PG, and Kawhi. That's a tough lineup to score on, low key. So it's good for the Clippers. I think they're equipping a squad that can stay competitive enough in case, in the event Kawhi wants to play basketball this year and comes back, and PG can come back. Because I heard he's been putting off his surgery because I think he wants to come back and play, but it's management and the doctor is saying that if he injures it anymore, he'll have to get what is that, Tommy John surgery, like in baseball.
That's tough.
That's tough. Yeah, that's a tough one to come back. And it's on his shooting arm too. So
he's worth tough. A lot of money.
Yeah, that dude is like $100 million investment. And Norman Powell has like 3 more years left on his deal. So it's like if they want to run it back next year, they can get these guys back. Kennard's locked up. They could bring all these people back, on team friendly deals and hit the league running next year once they're completely healthy. But they're setting themselves up to where they can still be competitive in the event that they do come back. So it's good for the Clippers. The Blazers is just, they just moving pieces out. They're just dumping.
Fire sale.
Yeah, that's why if I feel like I'm Norman Powell, I'm actually pretty excited about this trade. You tend to me from a team that's blowing it up to a team that is going to be in contention next year, probably maybe the year after that. So like, I don't see.
The reason why I said that I would feel some type of way is because when he showed up to Portland or whatever like that, he was so excited. Yeah. He was like, finally I feel wanted. I'm playing with Dame, CJ, like let's do this. Like he was excited. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think he would be one of the people that they traded. I figured they would let CJ walk. Get rid of some of the other like dead weight. Because they signed him, he was locked up when he came there. So I figured he was a part of their like future with Dame and their timeline. But hey, like how it is in the NBA. I mean, it's a business at the end of the day.
What you think about the trade, Howard?
The back of the jersey.
Honestly, like it's hard to like try and like make a Portland fan feel like happy about this because the writing's on the wall. They're blowing that team up. Like they're not going to be good for a while. I mean, you're getting picks, you're getting pieces, you're going to start the process, which, I mean, ask Philly fans, the process was not fun, but I mean, you got to do it. So, I mean, it is what it is. And the Clippers, I feel like they had to do it, right? Because, they when they got Kawhi, they were like, hey, we're good. We're going to win. We're going to be in contention. And, injuries is kind of like made them look kind of dumb. Like, not dumb, but like, it's like, come on, bro. We were supposed to be something. So they had to make this trade. They really did. Like, if they want to somewhat stay relevant this year and next year, this is for next year, I think. Like you guys said, it's for next year because this year, unless Kawhi comes back and Paul George and they're good, they ain't winning nothing.
I think they're like in the playing tournament right now. If it started today, they'd be
Getting bounced first round. Goodbye.
I mean, they're a tough team to play though, because without Kawhi and Paul George, they have so many veterans and so many dudes bought into that system with Tyronn Lue that they play together. So it's like a team effort. So you're not playing Paul George and Kawhi every night. You're playing 10 dudes. You know what I'm saying?
But even if they win the play-in, who they play in the first round?
True. No, very true. They don't have that X factor to get them over the hump. What I'm saying is that's how competitive this team is. And you add in two all-world talents in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they're a contender for a title every year. It's just injuries have plagued this team from their potential, which isn't anyone's fault because it just happens. Because when Kawhi's on there, they're making deep playoff runs. When Paul George is on, he's on. They're making deep runs. So the proof is in the pudding. It's just they're getting hit with the injury plague, and the sad thing is it's hitting your most important people. It's not like it's hitting your rotational guys or your bench guys. But one thing I wanted to say about, Portland, and I know we'll get to the CJ trade and stuff down the way, but I feel like they made this move because they were going to make moves later on in the week to theoretically bring in younger versions of the dudes that they were sending out. You bring in Josh Hart from New Orleans, who's like 2-3 years younger than Norman Powell, and he does some of everything. You got Anthony Simons, who kind of pushed CJ out the way because he's a cheaper, younger version of him. He's like 22, 23. I don't know for sure. I know he's younger. And he's playing for nickels and dimes. As where CJ, you still owe him $90 million over the next 3 years. Right. So it's kind of like they want to get their rebuild start, and I think they want to get a look at their players and see who's staying, who's going, and what do we have in these guys while Dame is sitting. Because if they do have some young players that are decent or whatever like that, they can build around that, build through the draft, or they can go out there in free agency with all the money that they've cleared off their books and sign some people to keep around Dame.
So let's get into the CJ. Let's talk about CJ. So CJ getting sent out to the Pelicans. They sent out CJ, Larry Nance, Tony Snell to the Pelicans, and the Blazers acquired Josh Hart, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Tomas, I can't say that name. We're not even going. And Didi Luzardo. They got a first-round pick in 2022 protected, a second in 2026 and 2027. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is actually going to the Jazz as of today, because he was a part of that Ingles deal. So what are y'all thinking about the CJ McCollum?
It's a cold world, yeah. It's a cold world.
It's a cold world. That boy Ingles bled for the Jazz. He get hurt and they're like, bye-bye.
Bye. No, right. I mean, I think New Orleans had to make this move, right? Because Zion, like, I don't know, he can't be happy because, there's a lot of hype around him and they're not really doing anything. So they're putting pieces around him. Obviously, they had to do this. They had to make this trade. Portland, again, we're hitting rebuild mode. I'm waiting for the Dame trade because, like, they're getting younger, but like Dame's not young. Like, he's only got 2-3 more years. Like, he doesn't fit this timeline that I see them. Like, he really don't. Like, I don't know.
Dame like 29. Dame. Okay, so I get what you're saying. He don't fit their timeline for what they trying to. If this is really what they trying to do is rebuild. If I'm Dame Lillard, I'm not about to sit here through the peak years of my career and watch y'all rebuild. And then once y'all ready to contend, I'm like 32, 33. No, trade me, get some pieces to jumpstart your rebuild because somebody like me, there's probably a handful of teams in the league that would not give up what they need to get Damian Lillard. Like we was talking about, me and Kari were talking about it off the rip. Philly would be a perfect partner. You know what I'm saying? I bet you if Portland called him today and said, hey, we will trade you Damian Lillard for Ben Simmons and Maxey or Ben Simmons and Tybalt, they'd do it because they were entertaining trading Ben Simmons for CJ. You know what I'm saying? You get the great value version with CJ, and then you get the premium version with Dame. I do that today. You know what I'm saying? As far as the incoming pieces from New Orleans, I thought Alexander Walker would have been exciting for them because he's young, he can create his own shot, but I mean he's going to the Jazz. So Josh Hart is a dude that was playing a really pivotal role on the New Orleans Pelicans bench. He was getting triple doubles off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what he's going to do in a starting role because they're going to give him as many minutes as he can handle right now to get a good look at him. So he's a good piece to have. As far as New Orleans, like you said, yeah, this is a move that they had to make because I mean, Zion is your prized possession right now, and now you have a formidable starting lineup that can go out there and compete. Because right now they're in the playing tournament. If it started today, right now, you know they got J Val at center. You know he ain't no hold on there. Nope. You got Zion when he's healthy, is a bully. You got Brandon Ingram is your bucket getter. Okay. And then you add CJ who's a bucket too. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Devontae Graham who can catch fire. You know what I'm saying? At a drop of a hat. So I mean they've got a good starting lineup. It's kind of top heavy right now because they kind of had to blow up their bench to get this deal done. But when you look at it for the grand scheme of things, it makes sense for New Orleans because they had the money to do it and they had the pieces to get it done to where they didn't cripple their roster too much. They had to revamp their bench a little bit, but I mean that can always be done in the next coming days. There's gonna be a lot of guys available.
So do you want for Dame? Do you want picks or do you want players? Like, because you said Ben Simmons. Honestly, if I'm trading, I don't even want Ben Simmons.
I'm saying if Philly,
it depends on the guy you're getting. If you can get a Ben Simmons, if you can go get a Ben Simmons, a Jaylen Brown, a young piece that you can build around. If you can go get a piece that you can build around towards the future, that can shorten your rebuild period, yes. But if it's like you're trading him to a situation like Houston or something like that, you go get their picks. I feel like then you're gonna try to rebuild through
the if you send Damian Lillard to OKC today, you'll probably get 13 first-round picks and Lou Dort.
Yeah, and that's great and all.
That's cool and all, but you got to hit on all 13 of them picks for the next 13 years to try and replicate what Dame was doing because you're not gonna find another Damian Lillard in his own right. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna try and replicate that production. So that's what if a team has the ability to trade for him, that's what they're gonna be trying to receive back. But a younger version. So if you're gonna trade out Damian Lillard, a dude who's a 25-point night kind of guy, and a dude that can carry a team to the playoffs, you're gonna want that kind of production coming back, or at least the potential of that kind of production, right? With Ben Simmons, you're getting a defensive player of the year candidate every year. He's an all defensive player. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about his jump shot right there, but the boy can play defense like it's nobody's business.
You know what would be interesting?
He's a rocking double if he actually tries.
You know what would be interesting? Fragile. I will honestly this if
I don't know. He got into some wars down in the paint with some big men and made them look
here. He's fragile
look like that. That's what I'm saying though. But it's a fresh start. So whoever's getting him knows what they're getting with him. You got to nurture him a little bit, but the potential is all there. It's through the ceiling.
If I'm Portland, I would try to get into a 3-way deal, right? Where I can maybe move Dame to Brooklyn, Kyrie to Philly, bring Ben Simmons in, and then they offer me 2 draft picks with it.
It had to be James Harden.
Hey, either or.
James Harden would have to go to Philly.
Either or.
If
either way, if I can get Ben Simmons and a couple of picks back in the deal, I'll go for it. You go get in a 3-way trade and try that, I will do it.
If I was KD, I'd be cool with it because Dame is a dog.
Yeah,
that's kind of what KD is. Dame is a dog. He don't care what the score is, how much they down by, whatever it is. Hey, we finna win this game or we gonna die trying. So,
and that's the thing. Dame has been loyal to them. So I feel like they shouldn't just put Dame into a bad situation.
But do you think that he's loyal to a fault? Like, remember we were talking about Bradley Beal? Do you think he's like Brad Beal, kind of loyal to a fault to his home team because he wants to be good so bad? But doesn't realize that his best years are coming up, and to cement his legacy or his career status, he might need to latch on to a team that can give him an opportunity to compete for a championship.
So to me, Dame it's a double-edged sword, right? Because it's not like Dame was holding on to a team that like wasn't consistently making the playoffs. It's not like he was holding on to a team that wasn't building around him. So if you're telling me loyal to a fault, that's like you're holding on to a team that just don't care about you. Like Bradley Beal, who not really building around you. They're not really putting the pieces around you to make you better. All they're doing is just giving pieces, trying to sell tickets, all that. Portland was actually trying bringing in Nurse,
Yeah, no,
having
no,
CJ.
yeah. I get what you're saying. I'm saying, do you think this next transition of his career, with the way the status of the roster is right now, do you think he's gonna stay loyal to a fault because of his heart
No,
is with Portland, or do you
No,
think he's gonna have,
no,
googly eyes and want to go somewhere else?
no,
he wants a
no.
ring.
If you notice,
Who doesn't? That's what I'm saying. Like,
no player after they leave their original situation ever like just become loyal to a fault. Like LeBron after he left Cleveland finally. It's not like he stayed loyal to Miami and he was loyal to a fault there.
same with
Or
KD. After KD left
AD.
OKC,
This was that.
Facts. So I don't think it's a loyal to a fault situation.
I don't know. If I were them, I would try and get Brown. That would be if I could pick, I'd try and get him and 2 picks. But
yeah. But the
I
thing
don't
about Brown is like 5 years younger than Dame, and Brown has potential, and he fits with Tatum like a glove. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
facts.
like, if you're going to give up a piece like Brown, see, because with Ben Simmons, it's the same situation if he was playing and his head was on straight. He's a potential, out the world, but it's a project. He's a project player with a high upside, but it could burn you. Brown, you know exactly what you're getting. He could jumpstart their rebuild first day in the door. You know what I'm saying?
that's why I want him.
So I know, but it's like you got to look at it like as if you're Boston. It's like, okay, we got Tatum at 22, we got Jaylen Brown like at 24. Both these dudes already proven commodities. Do we break that marriage up, or do we build around that?
And the Celtics, I don't think it would be a smart choice for them to do because you don't like most of the great teams have 2 wing players that are
And that's what I'm
dogs.
saying, dude. Like, there's
It,
not a lot of 6'7" wing players that can do what Jaylen Brown does in the league. Like, so
yeah,
those dudes like a premium, like
the,
Paul George and Kawhi. They're premium players because when you that big, you can guard multiple positions and you can get easier buckets at 6'7", 6'8" than you would be at 6 foot, 6'1", like Damian Lillard.
like the Damian Lillard trade. I feel like it's really gonna be geared around picks. I don't feel like it's gonna really be players because who out there is really player for player with Dame that you think you
None.
can
There's
trade?
none. That's why I don't. Me personally, I don't want any. I want picks. I want to start doing. I think they should start taking a look at OKC. Just picks. Just take them. If I can get 3, 4 picks, let's go.
I,
Stockpile.
you can't. I don't think you do Dame that dirty. Where I think you
Well, the
try to
only
get.
teams that are going to give up picks are ones that are winning now. You know what I mean? The
I
bad
think
teams aren't going to take them.
I think you
Yeah,
put them in a situation like maybe a Maverick situation. Maybe
I
if
was
you
gonna
could
bring them up. I was gonna
you can
say
make
you could
a
do it.
money
You could
situation
do it.
work with
Jalen Brunson, Finney Smith, and like 2 first-rounders, a couple second-rounders, and put a package around that. Does that happen before Thursday? I don't think so. This is
No.
probably like an off-season trade
yeah.
because if you're gonna blow it up, you want to have the opportunity to be able to sign some free agents as well.
Yeah.
So if Mavericks are gonna gut their roster, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna want the opportunity to surround Luka and Dame with pieces right there because Brunson is a dog. Finney Smith is that rangy 6'8", 6'9" wing player that can guard multiple positions. So you're gonna want that opportunity to be like, all right, we got Dame, Luka, and I mean Porzingis for the foreseeable future. Let's see what we could put around them because when you make them in-season trades, like on say you make it on Thursday, that's what you stuck with, or whatever, whoever gets bought out or whatever, you got to pick out of the scrap heap or whatever like that. But
Yeah, I don't think you
at the same
just put
time,
Dame in a
Finney Smith
bad
and
place.
Brunson are free agents at the end of the year, so it had to be like a multiple sign and trade deal where they sign both of them and send them, you know. And they can say no. They'd be like, I don't want to go to Portland. You know what I'm saying? I want to go play in New York for X amount of dollars they're gonna offer me. I want to go play here. You know what I'm saying?
Or or I think I would consider the maybe a Lakers situation too. I would in the off season. In the off season, you take Russell Westbrook, you go ahead and buy him out.
Oh
You
yeah.
put Russell Westbrook in there, buy him
It's
out.
gonna be hard to do.
You take Horton Tucker, you use him as a piece toward the future, and then
If
I'll
they
even take
pull that off, if the Lakers with what they
Heist.
got could
The
pull that
heist.
off, well, hey,
Yeah, that's the heist.
Genie Bus, you are the goat.
Yeah.
If you can sell Portland Trailblazers on Horton Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, and a bag of peanuts for Damian Lillard,
You the one.
Ice.
You the one.
I feel like you'll maybe have to get another team involved. You'll probably have
You
to get
have
another
to.
team.
oh, you have to.
Have to.
You definitely. And even at that, the Lakers don't have nothing to offer nobody that they
Facts.
would be like, okay, I'm gonna give up this young promising player so you guys can get Damian Lillard. Yes, let's do it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Horton Tucker's I
Last year.
Malik
Last
Monk
year.
is overachieving right now. Kendrick Nunn, I ain't seen him, and those are the extent of the young players. Everybody else is 33 plus.
What if you put OKC in it? What if you put OKC in it and
Shot?
you
But the
get
thing is, they gave up all their picks already. They gave all their picks to New Orleans for Anthony Davis, and then did the same thing
no,
when they bring Russ.
no,
So it's like they don't have
I'm
nothing.
saying what if you put New Orleans into this deal, right? Not New Orleans, OKC into this deal, right? And then you with Portland, you give them up front right now. Like they can get picks for right now. And then if you're the Lakers, you give them the back end where they can get the 2027, 2028. And then you throw in an extra person. You think that'll get it done?
You need to put Shy in there. He's got to be somewhere in that trade.
Yeah, if I'm Portland,
Yeah,
I ain't
he's
trading no
got to be
Damian.
somewhere in there.
I'm not helping I'm not helping a direct competitor in the same conference strengthen their roster without receiving something in return. So if
Yeah.
we're gonna do this, I'm gonna need Shy or I'm gonna need Baisley. I'm gonna need one of them dudes that's jumping out the gym. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like that. And some picks.
Yeah. So definitely, I feel like we're gonna be talking about Dame Lillard for the
That's
months
gonna be
to
for a
come.
while. Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna be talking about it for the months to come. Another big trade that went off during this trade, well, not deadline. Deadline is tomorrow, but is the Kings moving to get Sabonis. So in that deal, you got Tyrese Halliburton, you got Buddy Hield, you got Tristan Thompson going to the Pacers, and for the Kings, they get Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a second round pick in 2023. This is an interesting trade. We're gonna start off. Who do you think won the trade?
I think it's a wash. I don't think
I
there's
like
any.
I like for the Pacers. I like what they're doing because they basically gave the team to Miles Turner. This is your team. So
Not
they
even though,
got
because
rid of
they
that.
talking about they could flip him to Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's who
nah.
want him bad is Toronto.
I don't think they're giving away
Toronto
him.
and Charlotte have been hitting him up on a daily basis about his availability. Everyone's worried about his injury.
I don't think they're giving him up. I think
I don't think they give him
it
up
was one of the
tomorrow.
two.
I don't think they give him up tomorrow. I think they wait till he's fully healthy and sell high on him because I think the direction that they're trying to go in is they got Halliburton. So they got the point guard figured out. Now it's kind of like, what do you do with Brogdon? Because that was Brogdon was the point guard, right? You got Chris Duarte at the 2. He's flourishing right now. He looks like he could be good in that position because he plays defense. You just got to figure out 3 other spots. You know what I'm saying? But Brogdon, low key, is kind of expensive because your backcourt's kind of set with your youth. If this is the direction you want to go, you got your backcourt kind of good. You got to see what these guys can do together. Halliburton has to be your focal, your prized possession now, and he plays the same position as Brogdon. Brogdon needs the ball in his hand to be effective offensively. So does Halliburton. So it's like you're not gonna get rid of Duarte because you lucked into having him, to be honest, where you got him.
But why would you
So-
give up Turner? Like, why? I mean, I could see if you didn't give up Sabonis, but like, what would you get in
Because
return to make
what
it?
Toronto is offering, they're offering 2 young dudes and a first rounder. They're offering like Deano Blanton and Chris Boucher, who are both under 25 and a first round pick. So if you're gonna blow it up, blow it up. Because look, I get all these guys are good. All these guys are on the Pacers: Brogdon, LeVert, TJ, Sabonis, Turner. They're all good individual players. As a collective unit, they're not good. We've seen this movie for like the past 3 years, and they've gone nowhere. Health, bad health, whatever, they've gone nowhere with it. They made the playoffs and they get bounced. On paper, they got a tough ass starting 5, but they go nowhere. So it's like you just tired of seeing the same movie. So it's like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, Turner is still young. He's 25, but I'm saying if you make him available, there isn't a short list of teams that would want him. There's a good amount of teams that would want him.
Yo,
Charlotte has young players that would attract, that would excite Indiana. There's a lot of teams that Toronto has young players that would excite them. There's a lot of teams that would want Miles Turner's services. So
It's Turner who so you really think Turner is the guy you hitch your wagon to, and you say, hey, we're gonna give him the ball, and it's gonna be his team. You think that is the guy that the Pacers should build around?
I think he's got his potential is up there. Like I really like him. I've always liked him. I think he can eat, especially with the people they got. Like I don't know. I feel like they need to keep this together because I think they need to at least see what Miles does in this situation and how they play together because I think they got something here. I
So
do.
all right, let's say they do this, right?
Mhm.
My thing is Tyrese Halliburton has proven a lot, right? So if you're going to do this, Brogdon become expendable, right?
Oh, you got to
What
get rid of him. Yeah,
what do you think you can go get for Brogdon?
that's tough.
That's the tough thing because you got to match his salary too.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like
tough.
you're gonna be taking some bad contracts back. So
Yeah.
I don't really not that he's a bad player because he's a
No.
good defender. I mean, you would want somebody like that in your backcourt, like a
He's
play.
just
I'm trying
hurt.
to think of like playoff teams that have the salary to match and that would want to like accept him. Maybe Boston could, you know, if they find a way to match a salary and send him because they've been looking for a point guard, you know, maybe Boston. Maybe you sell him on Al Horford and Romeo Langford and a couple of picks. I don't know. I'm trying to like think, like
Uh, maybe nah, they don't need him. I could
I mean,
say
because
maybe.
most playoff teams have a point guard. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
hard part,
Yeah.
So you think you just keep him? Do you think Halliburton and Brogdon can run together?
But what happens to Duarte though? If that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to figure out what direction they're trying to go in because Turner's still young. He's 26. Sabonis was 25. You know what I'm saying? He was young.
The bonus was paid though.
The Sabonis is paid though.
What about Nicholas Batum?
For Brogdon,
Not straight up, obviously, but I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah, it had to be to
you
make that
think
salary work. It had to be, but Nick Batum doesn't really have any trade value outside of teams that are trying to contend. He's attractive to teams that are trying to contend. You
Yeah.
can give up a second rounder or a first and some salary you're trying to get rid of because he helps on a contending team. A team like Indiana, it serves you no value and it serves him no purpose even showing up. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to be competitive there. If you're going to hit up the Clippers for somebody like that, I would want Brandon Boston for one. I'd want maybe Luke Kennard. Can't have enough shooting because his salary could match Brogdon's salary
Yeah.
and maybe a couple picks. I mean, that's probably the extent of what you could probably get from as far as the playoff contending teams wise.
What about if you're Houston? You think you should go try to get Brogdon?
You got to give up Christian Wood probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He's the only person on that team making enough.
100% have to.
Yeah, he's the only person on the team making
Yeah.
that kind of money. So
Is that worth it? Probably not.
Oh, so you just think?
yeah, I mean, you're back in the same boat as you was with Sabonis and Turner. You just got the skinnier version with Christian Wood. So it's like, what was the point of that? If you're going to bring in a power forward, bring in a power forward, someone that don't clog the. Because the problem with Sabonis and Turner was, I feel like Turner is he's a good 3-point shooter, but with Sabonis there demanding to have the paint to himself, it made him exclusively a 3-point shooter on the offensive end. So he's outside the paint when shots are going up to get rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So it hindered his stats. So I do like what you're saying. If they do hang on to him, I do like to see what he would do in that role. And I think if they do let him ride it out the rest of the season, he's showcasing his talent for next year.
Oh, Brogdon?
No.
No.
Turner.
Turner. Oh yeah, all right, cool.
Because if depending on what Dallas does with Porzingis or like that, Turner would be a good pickup for them.
Facts. All right, so there was one more trade we're gonna probably get to that we're gonna get to right now. And
that's the team. That's my bad. Not to cut you off. That just popped in my head. That's the team that you could trade for Brogdon, right? If you don't think you can afford to keep Jalen Brunson, like he's not going to re-sign with y'all, he's going to want big money. You trade him to Indiana. Let him be Indiana's problem.
Or what
Worst
about
come to worst, he want to stay. You move Duarte to the 3. He a smaller 3, or you make Duarte come off the bench because Brunson ready to explode now. And Halliburton was playing the 2 when Fox was there, so he's interchangeable. He could play 1 and 2.
So to me, the guy I would try to go if Indiana maybe Gordon Hayward with Bridges coming on this year, maybe Charlotte might be willing to give up Hayward. And
He would bring some stability to that backcourt.
Yeah,
because there's no defense being played back there for him and Rozier.
Yeah, facts.
Like honestly, I love Scary Terry, but I feel like if he was like a 6-man, where it's like, hey, all we need you to do is shoot, just score.
Buckets. Yeah.
Just get buckets. I feel like he would thrive in a role like that. Would he accept a role like that? I don't know. And the amount that they're paying him, it wouldn't make any sense to have him come off the bench. So that would be an interesting spot for him because I feel like that would stabilize their backcourt. Because I'm literally peeking on them right now. They're getting cooked right now in the backcourt.
All right, so the last trade I want to bring up is Karis LeVert got traded. He got traded to the Cavaliers, and they got a second round pick with that. The Pacers will
How?
receive Ricky Rubio, a first round pick, lottery protected, a second round pick, and 2 second round picks in 2022.
Shout out to Cleveland.
Smoothest move of the death of all the trades so far. Of all the trades you talk about, that's the shrewdest move out of all of them.
Yeah.
Shrewdest move. You didn't give up anything. You matched your salary with Rubio and him. Rubio is a free agent next year. So clearly Indiana want to just clear the money off the books. Cool. You gave up a couple of second round picks. You about to be a competitive team. Those second round picks will be in like the 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The likelihood of you finding a comparable player in the 50s is highly unlikely.
Now they got
You
a first,
bring
so they got a
LeVert-
first round pick with it too. It's just lottery protected.
Oh, okay. But still, same time, you bring in LeVert, where the one thing you was missing was scoring when the ball's not in Darius Garland's hand. Because there's only so many back to the basket twos you can score until teams start just flooding the paint. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a lot of shooting outside of Chetty Osman and Garland when he's on. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Love. There's only alley-oops and back-to-basket dunks you can throw. Wait, LeVert coming in, he brings a different facet to the game. He could drive, kick, he can create his own shot. Because if you think about it, the only person that can create their shot in that starting lineup is Garland.
Yeah.
Jared Allen, you gotta get him set up, dump it to him, let him do his big man stuff. Same with Mobley. Mobley doesn't really shoot the ball that well, but he's effective defensively and in the paint. Okoro, I don't even know how he got this far in the league with that kind of shot. You know what I'm saying? But he just stopped
when he was coming out, he
right.
was supposed to be a defensive anchor. Like he was at Auburn. That's all that they really drafted him for.
All right, I thought he sold everybody else and something else. I was like,
nah,
that's a lie.
He was built on being a defensive anchor. That's what's his like calling card.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
LeVert, that was a good pickup because I was worried about them going into the playoffs. Like, where's the scoring going to come from when they catch these teams like Philly? You know, those teams that have good defensive backcourts and they start honing on Garland. Where's the scoring going to come from when you don't have shooting? Having LeVert, it gives the defense something to think about. So now with Cleveland, if I was them, I'd go try and get somebody like an Eric Gordon, you know, or another shooter, a cheap shooter somewhere. Because when you have LeVert driving and kicking and Garland driving and kicking, you know, then you surround those kind of guys with shooters and you got your 2 anchors on defense, you know. Because Lauri Markkanen got a good shot, you know what I'm saying? Love's got a good shot, you know, but you can never have enough shooting, especially going into the playoffs. So it's probably the best move of the deadline so far. As far as like return and the potential of impact, that was the best one so far.
It's crazy. I mean, if you think about this, 2 years ago, you'd have told me that LeVert and Allen were going to be on the Cavaliers for like nothing. Like for real, like I'd have been like, you guys,
especially when they was in that rookie showcase stuff cooking. I was like, nah, dude.
Like,
those are the
I don't know how the
franchise
Cavaliers have done this, but hey, man, shout out to Cleveland because they're up tremendously right now. Like
before they came on, we're joking about how they should go get Dinwiddie, bring Dinwiddie in.
Yeah, I mean,
bring the squad back together.
Why not? And then they take out Brooklyn. That'd be the
Spence.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's got to be one of the best moves of like the trade cycle right now because I don't see how it happened, but
hey man,
Indiana, out to the Cavaliers. All right, so this is a point I wanted to get into, right? So with all this going on, I just wanted to ask y'all this question, right? Me, I'm a Celtics fan. Y'all know?
Yeah, we know.
And we know that.
Yeah.
As a Celtics fan, we draft pretty well. You know, I'm just like, you know, we drafted Tatum, we drafted Brown, we drafted Robert Williams, we drafted Rozier, we drafted Smart. Other than Jason Tatum, of them guys, they were all developed into this player that they are today, right? Jason Tatum was the only one that came out who was rocking from the beginning, doing his thing. So I want to know, when teams are drafting, do y'all think they should draft for immediate impact? Or do you think they should look at guys that, you know, maybe might take a year or 2, sometimes even 3 years to develop? Where are y'all thinking?
I don't think they have it. I think with every team's intention, when they have a high draft pick that they're taking, like Tatum he was an extremely high draft pick, you're expecting a return on your investment relatively quickly. You know, you don't draft someone in the top 3, top 5, not even the top 7. Like, all right, let's wait on this guy for a couple of years. You know, no, you're expecting him to show up to the league, and even if he's raw, you know, he's rough around the edges. You could see the potential there. Like with Cade Cunningham, them taking the number 1, you could see the potential there that he's going to be good eventually. You know, he's the guy you could build your team around. Same with Tatum. They drafted him, and you saw like, okay, this is the guy we could build a team around. You know, I think when you get later on in the draft, that's when you could take those kind of guys like, all right, a couple of years in the league, you know, he might be able to turn into something. And we're not losing that because we're taking him with the 24th pick or the 25th pick. I feel like the higher the pick, the higher the expectation. That's why they're going so high.
But you gotta think, all right, a lot of these players are coming in, they're coming in 19 years old. They ain't even developed into a man body yet. They have not like played a lot of like high level basketball.
That's what I'm
Nah,
saying. But for the same reason that they're entertaining the idea of taking them so high at that young of an age is the same reason why they think that they can come in and contribute right away in the NBA. Because if they were looking at it like, okay, he's only 19, he hasn't played basketball much, let's let him be somebody else's problem. Let's take something else for sure. You're banking on the potential because basically what he showcased to you prior to this engagement of y'all meeting him and drafting him and stuff was enough for you to believe that he's worth this number 1 overall pick, this number 2, this number 3, 4, 5, and so on.
so all right. In more recent drafts, we've seen a Wiseman go over a LaMelo. We all felt like LaMelo would have like an immediate impact. But Wiseman was a person that they needed that they felt like could be a star in a few years. He was not developed yet. He was not ready yet. But I feel like that's the right move.
But that's what I'm saying. It proves the point in your question, right? They drafted for need, right? So they drafted the guy that they thought they could come in and contribute right away, regardless of who's better, who they think is going to be better or whatever like that. They drafted the guy that they thought that would come in and contribute right away, which was Wiseman.
No, but I feel like they knew LaMelo would probably come in and contribute in a more efficient way than Wiseman. But Wiseman needed to develop into the guy. That's what I'm saying. Like Wiseman, the need was they needed a big man. Not the need was that they felt like Wiseman was better than LaMelo. I don't feel. You know what I mean?
No, I never said he was better than LaMelo. What I said is they drafted the guy that they thought that they needed that could contribute, which was a big man. They didn't need a backcourt partner because they had Curry, Clay, Poole, all those guys.
Where's he gonna fit?
They would have loved to have LaMelo. You know what I'm saying? If he would be a luxury, but he would never get to showcase his talent like he would want to, being on a team like he did in Charlotte, because he wouldn't get regular minutes. He wouldn't have the ball in his hand like that, being with 2 ball dominant backcourt partners. You know, they drafted the guy that they thought that they needed that could contribute at the spot of need, which was center. That's where they took Wiseman. Everyone knew LaMelo is probably going to have a way better career than Wiseman, but that's not to say that Wiseman's not going to be an efficient player in this league, and that's why they drafted him where they drafted him, because at the time, at that position, and in that draft where they were drafting, he was the best available for what they needed. So there's instances like that where teams draft players that are good fits for them,
Or
not
even
necessarily.
or let's even go to the Sixers. The Sixers, when they drafted Embiid, right? They drafted Embiid. Embiid was hurt. They just drafted Jalil like what was it, a year before. Like the Sixers did the same thing where they went and got a guy that they felt like will develop into what Joel became. Instead of going to get a guy that I don't even remember who was in that draft. I don't think Nerlens Noel was in that draft. He might have been, but like, yo, they could have went and got that.
Embiid's a freak. That's why.
Huh?
He's a freak.
Yeah.
You know, they don't make
And-
many
and-
of those guys.
Yeah.
You
and
get
that whole Philly thing
Yeah.
that's a special situation because it was like the front line, like the media thing was we are rebuilding and trust the process. We're gonna bring in
tanking.
our anchor. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring in Ben Simmons. We're gonna draft Markov Fultz. Trust the process. We're gonna be good. So that's different.
In trust the process, right? They didn't really miss on many picks. You gotta think Michael Carter Williams, he was rookie of the year. Jaleel Okafor came in, he was averaging 17 points a game. So in this situation, why do you need a Joel Embiid? Yes, he's a freak, he's huge and all that. But you don't really necessarily need it, a Joel Embiid, when you got a guy already averaging 17 points a game. But they drafted a guy that they felt like, all right, if we give him a few years, he would be that guy for us. You get what I'm saying?
Because Jaleel Okafor he's good, right? he's good. And
He's
that time, in the game was still courtesy to his play style. Embiid was the future of what the game could possibly go to, and that's why he's thriving. What Embiid does, Jahlil Okafor can't do. Jahlil Okafor is not bringing the ball up the court and setting up the offense and shooting threes. You know,
And that's exactly what I'm saying. They waited on the guy. Jalil didn't even play his rookie
because
year.
that was a special situation. You know what I'm saying? They were waiting on everyone. They were starting from scratch and rebuilding the brand and rebuilding the outlook of the team and the mentality of the team. They were getting away from the days with Elton Brand and whoever else they had there and going in a different direction. And whoever sticks, whoever doesn't, doesn't. But trust the process is what they kept telling everybody for years. And now look at them. They competitive every single year.
I mean, if you draft on solely on potential, you look like the Knicks, and it's not good. All right, they drafted a lot of people on the potential and swing and a miss a lot of times, and it hurts me because I'm a Knicks fan. So like the way I look at it, if I'm top 10, I'm looking to draft someone that's going to help me now or next year. Like I need something I need because missing on top 10 picks. I mean,
That
that
hurts. It kills you.
That
It
hurts,
kills you.
man. Yo,
You know
and
what
we
I'm saying?
missed on so many, and it's just like, yo, I don't care about his. I want him to play now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're top 10 consistently, you're a top 10 pick year after year. Like, all right, man, I'm tired of hearing this. He could be. I want to know. Can we just get someone that's going to start?
So let's
Can we
say
just get a
with y'all,
piece?
right? Let's say with y'all. RJ Barrett, he averaged like 17 his rookie year, but he didn't really look like that guy that he's looking like this year. You don't feel like that was
I mean, who else are we going to take? I mean, first off, we should have at least had the one or two, but we're not going to get there. Like we're not going to go there with that. You know, we didn't get robbed again. But I mean, RJ, I mean, his rookie year, he was in the rookie All-Star game. Like, I mean, he started, like, he was playing for us. Like, he was one of our best picks, and it had to be number 3. And it sucks that the two people that went ahead of him were, you know, Ja and Zion. Like, honestly, if I had to pick right now, Ja, but God, let's not talk about that. Right?
And
Like,
that's another thing I want to hit on. All right, that is
they got to get rid of the lottery.
is very rare that you see rookies step in the league and take over like you've seen with Luka, LaMelo, you know, Trae Young to an extent. You know what I'm saying, with the style of play. It's very rare. A lot of these guys come in and they're handed the keys to the starting lineup. Like, hey, regardless of what happens this year, we're competitive. Not you're our starting small forward, and that's probably what they told RJ. We drafted you for a reason at number 3. You're gonna play. You're gonna figure it out on the fly. So there's gonna be some growing pains, you know. As far as like the dudes that step in and just take over, those are the special dudes that, you know, they're just special. They're just different. You know what I'm saying? Like LaMelo stepped in the league and instantly you could see that, this guy could be an MVP one day. Luka, he almost won it as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's.
So let me ask you, should the goal be to start should the goal be to make a solid team and hopefully from that solid team, one or two of them become stars? Or is it just let's keep trying to hit on stars, trying to make a star, make a star?
What position is your team in? That
Yeah,
really
I was gonna say,
what position is your team?
Do you
in?
have a luxury to draft dudes to wait on, or are you in a position where you need a face of a franchise and you need to jumpstart your rebuild like a OKC? Because they can't just keep collecting picks for years on end. Because I think the owner's gonna be like, all right, when are we gonna get competitive? You know.
So if you're making your team a playoff team, you're building around making a playoff team, a solid team that can contend to the playoffs, and then you hope that one person gonna take that step and become a star or a superstar. You don't feel like that should be the goal?
Do you already have a star, or are you just like, are you a bad team that's trying to make the playoffs? You know what I mean? Like, because if you're a bad team trying to make the playoffs, you got to get your star.
There's a lot of variables that could go into this question. Because it's like if you're a bad team that wants to be good all of a sudden, but you have a high draft pick, you're definitely taking the guy that you think is going to be a star.
So go Phoenix. Right? Go Phoenix.
So Phoenix,
y'all had solid players. Y'all had solid players. Devin Booker, he may not have been top 10, but he was a lottery pick.
The last pick of the lottery.
He was a lottery pick. So let's go there, right? Y'all had a solid team that y'all could build around. Y'all had the pieces. Y'all had the then y'all had the twins at that time. Y'all had who else did y'all have?
We had the Twins. We had IT, Dragic, Bledsoe. We had PJ. We had we had a couple other bombs off the bench or whatever like that. Aaron Brooks and stuff like that. But
So y'all draft Devin Booker, right? Devin Booker, a bench player in college. Uh, Y'all draft him in the lottery, and y'all want him, and y'all just let him develop into what he became. Y'all didn't force him to be. He got to be a star from day one.
true.
Y'all let him
That's
go
that's a
from.
good point right there because that is an excellent point right there because that proves the other side of this. Yes. So at the time, like we was talking off the rip about Washington teams that want to be competitive but are kind of like middle of the road. We were a middle of the road team, right? So it was. I'm pretty sure in that room it was like, okay, we could take this power forward that could come in here and give us 12 and 10 a game, or we could roll the dice on this guy and see what he becomes, and he could be that backcourt anchor for years to come. And at that time, it was like, okay, well, we're competitive enough to be relevant. We could bring him along the way. I feel like that's what went into drafting Booker, and it's paid off. Sometimes that doesn't pay off for some teams. Like talking about the Suns, right? We were in that same position, and we took Josh Jackson number 4 to Kansas. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
all right.
You got to think about this too, though. These players, right? They portray something to these teams that they think that this is the product that we're getting, and some of these guys, their game doesn't translate. So
True,
Josh Jackson was a dog at Kansas, cooking. Came to the league, his game never really translated.
true.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
to me, when you this is what happens when you try to draft. All right, so what could mess up my argument is Anthony Bennett, obviously. That could mess up my argument. But my thing is, when you're trying to draft star, when you continue trying to draft star after star, you get Thomas Robinson, you get Michael Kidd Gilchrist instead of Bradley Bill. You get these players when you're trying to.
But that's what I'm saying. With that said, right, with Thomas Robinson, Michael Kidd, Gilchrist, what they did in college had those teams sold on the idea of what they thought they were getting, and their game never translated. Thomas Robinson was a 6'8", 6'9" center. That was never gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It took a toll on his body after the first 2 years. Because that's back when teams valued the center and everybody was 7 foot 260. You know,
All
Michael Kidd Gilchrist. It was never going to translate because you can't just play defense and do absolutely nothing else. It looked like he never picked up a basketball when he would get it on offense. You know what I'm saying? But what they did in college and the pedigree of school that they come from comes into effect as well. These guys were coming from Duke, top flight programs. So they're being well coached.
Mhm.
They're in the limelight their entire career. They're on covers of magazines in high school and stuff like that. So you think that you're getting this grade A product, and sometimes it just never translates, and you just get the short end of the stick, like with Markel Fultz at Washington, going to Philly. Yes, he had some injuries that enabled his shot or whatever like that, but they thought they were getting the most dynamic in the draft, and based on what he did at Washington, it kind of warranted that spot. So sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it does. That's why it's a draft. It's the luck of the draft. You don't know who's really going to step in and be good. You know what I'm saying?
right,
If I don't have a star, I'm drafting for a star because to me, there's no point of having a solid team if you don't have a star because you're never gonna, especially in the NBA, you're never gonna win anything if you don't
That's
have a
what I'm
star.
saying.
So I'm gonna draft my star, and then my draft, the way I draft after that, I'm drafting for solid players because I already got my star, and if I have to, I can trade for another to pair with him. You know, but if I don't have one star, and there's no
That,
point.
that kind of stuff only works in like the NFL, where you have a team
Yeah.
full of just solid guys and y'all make a deep run, like a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
And the NBA is different because
Yeah.
it's so condensed with the player personnel
Mm-hmm.
playing against each other. You could have a solid team, right, and get to the playoffs, and then you catch a team that's just loaded with star talent. Talent beats work every day. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff that guys that have good work ethic can't do that guys with talent can do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not gonna see a team that has a bunch of good players make it to the finals. It's just never gonna happen.
Unless injuries.
Oh man,
True.
hey, we'll see. All right, so this is a topic I really want to get into. I want y'all to tell me, do y'all think Anthony Davis is still a top 5 player in the league, healthy?
Absolutely not.
What you mean, bro? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
How?
No. What's he
How?
doing on that team? What's he doing for his team right now?
Oh, since he
Top
came back
five
from
player makes his team relevant. Or
so
not
since,
relevant.
so since he came back from injury, he's averaged
Still
25
not.
points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks.
Were they in the Western Conference?
Ninth, I think. Was
Okay.
it ninth? I
Okay.
mean, but at the same time, is that all his fault? My
I
thing
mean,
is, so we were saying he was a top 5 player, right? When he was in New Orleans, not going nowhere. But now that he's on the Lakers, not going nowhere. Now he's not that guy no more.
yeah, because he's got
Because
people around him.
I think what it is I think like I said before the podcast, I think his game is kind of it is what it is. Like his game is peaked. He's a dominant player. Don't get me wrong, dominant player. If we talking about power forwards, he's top 2 in the league without a doubt. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? There's nobody on that same level of
Mhm.
him. What he does for a team and what he brings to a team in that playoff atmosphere, being battle tested, is something you can't replicate. Now, when we remove him from that bubble and we drop him into the pool of top 5 players in the entire league, there's guys with less that are doing more, right? There's the
Embiid.
Giannis's of the world. There's the Embiid, who the entire franchise is on his shoulders, who he's got them relevant right now. There's Jokic. His whole starting lineup is gone, and he's out there
Cooking.
giving boys the business, getting MVPs, right? You got KD. No matter where he goes, he's always going to be good. You got LeBron at 37 years old. You got to give the man props. He's out there dropping 40-point triple doubles and flying. You got he's not a top 5, but he's in that conversation of top 10. You got James, you got
Steph.
Luca. That regardless of who's playing with, and that's the thing I keep saying about Luca, why he's so good is regardless of who's in that starting
Yeah.
lineup with Luca, they have a chance to win no matter who they are playing. You know what I'm saying? So is
Steph.
Anthony Davis a top 5 player right now, healthy? I can't say that because the pool of talent is so large and there's guys doing more with less. So I can't give him that luxury right now when I haven't seen that dominance of Anthony Davis. Yes, he's averaging 25 and what was it, rebounds, like
11.
11. He's averaging a double-double. That's great. And B's averaging damn near almost 30 points a game and got his team in the first seed in the East.
But Anthony Davis has been injured. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah, no, you said if healthy. So I'm grading him as if he was been healthy, right? I can't grade him off of being injured, healthy, because then there's no way I could grade him fairly.
So okay, so the knock against Anthony Davis is he did come into this season like he did not have a good start to the season. He came into the season kind of lackadaisical. He came into the season not going hard, whatever. But over these last 9 games, since he's been back healthy, we've seen the Anthony Davis of old. We've seen what he can do when he's locked in, focused. I
That's
understand it's
great.
not
He's been
contributing to
locked
winning.
in. He's been locked in and focused, and he's still been losing.
That's what I'm saying. I understand
I
it's not
can't put
contributing to winning.
because if you're gonna be a top 5 player, you're an X factor, and to be an X factor, you shift the pendulum of the league with you. You know what I'm saying? Embiid steps on the court, no matter who they're playing, Philly has a chance to win. Jokic has a chance to win. Luca, they have a chance to win. KD, me, you, Howard, with KD, we have a chance to win against an NBA
We're
team.
gonna win.
Those kind of guys. Do you realistically think Anthony Davis, surrounded by a bunch of scrubs, right, that can go there and do the same thing right now, healthy? I don't think so because I don't think he is a great player in retrospect of with his talents. But as far as getting that team over the hump by his lonesome, and the reason why I keep comparing him to that is because there's guys that are doing it with less. And you saw him in New Orleans when he was by himself. He was padding the stats. He was going crazy, but they went nowhere.
What hump? Where have Joel Embiid been? He's been to the Eastern Conference. Where has Yoke been? Like
Yoke is an MVP. Where's Anthony Davis's hardware?
Yeah.
Outside of that championship he won in the bubble. Outside of that championship,
Mickey Mouse championship.
Yo, why do y'all disregard the bubble championship? Everybody had the same odds of winning that championship. Everybody was in the same situation. Everybody was in everything. So y'all cannot discredit this situation. It's not like the Lakers had it better than everybody else.
Okay, all right. So where were they last year then?
Where were they at
He was
last year?
fully healthy. He was fully healthy last year. Where were they last year then?
I feel like he had a solid season last year.
Okay, so did he have a top 5 season last year? Because if you're going to be a top 5 player, your team has to be somewhere. He was nowhere to be found in the playoffs.
To me, where the problem with Anthony Davis is right now, I don't feel like his whole bulking up over the summer was great for him. I feel like he need to get back to his game. I feel like he need to go back to being a power forward. I don't think he need to try to be a center. I don't think he need to try to be banging down there with people. I think Anthony Davis' best game is where he can just be a power forward. He can shoot the ball. He can take people off the dribble, and he can just play solid defense.
I
off
get
the side.
that. That's beautiful. That would be great if the Lakers had that luxury.
They don't.
They need him to play center. They need him to do that. He has to. You can't have Dwight Howard down there clogging up the paint, clogging up lanes, because you got to think it's a different offense, it's a different team. You got two dudes that love to score in the paint, and AD and LeBron. You can't have Dwight Howard blocking the paint. And when you're on offense, it's playing 4-on-5 with Dwight Howard on the court. Because all he can do is catch lobs. No, seriously, all he can do is catch lobs and little quick passes to the rim.
Yeah.
No, you can't have DeAndre Jordan out there. He's a shell of himself right now. You know what I'm saying?
So Anthony,
So he has to play the 5.
So to you, Anthony Davis is peak. There's nowhere Anthony Davis can go and get better.
I mean, he could.
I think he's.
Is it realistic?
I mean, get better as far as his game evolve. No, I feel like he can look better doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? If he was winning in a dominant fashion, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Embiid can get even better than he already is. I feel like Jokic is just scratching the surface to his game.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I'm
that's crazy. Yeah.
Luka is literally. I don't think he's even scratched the surface to his game yet. Luka, KD is who he is. KD is peaked. This is what he is. But the reason why it's so dominant is because what he is, nobody else can do in the league. Nobody else doing what he's doing.
Let me ask you: would Jokic and would Embiid do the same thing if they had a LeBron James on their team?
Yeah, because both those dudes don't need the ball to be effective. You know what I'm saying?
Neither do Anthony Davis. But no, Jokic.
I was gonna renege on that. Jokic, their offense flows through Jokic when he's there, even with Jamal Murray and them. So Embiid doesn't need that. LeBron would actually help Embiid because he wouldn't have to take double teams and create his own shot. LeBron can set him up for stuff. So Embiid's numbers for his points wise would probably even go up even higher.
Me would make when I watch Embiid, I like the fact that he can bop. You feel me?
That's what I'm saying.
He can do it. Yeah.
I like the fact that he
but when he's doing all that bopping and bopping, it amounts to wins.
You
don't have a LeBron James or a Russell Westbrook.
My thing is you
got a Tobias Harris,
Matisse
Thybulle, Danny Green, and a Tyrese Maxey, and they sitting up top of the East. And the East is the tougher conference this year. If you check the numbers.
Yeah.
The East is the tougher conference. The Lakers are in the play-in tournament with a losing record.
Cool. I get what you're saying. But my thing is, all right, first of all, how can I put this, right? If he had a LeBron James on his team, yes, his scoring might go up because he'll get easier baskets, right? But he would not be able to do what makes him special. Not like AD. AD don't get to do what made him special in New Orleans with a LeBron James on his team.
And whose fault is that?
I was gonna say, are
That's
you telling me
Anthony Davis.
LeBron's holding him back?
No, I'm not
Whose fault is
saying
that?
I'm not necessarily saying LeBron is holding them back, but I'm saying there's sacrifices that come with playing with a LeBron James.
All right, but
And there's sacrifices that come with playing with two dominant backcourt players in Kyrie and James Harden, and KD still do what he got to do.
Yo, KD
There's
is
sacrifices that come to playing with
we-
Chris
we-
Middleton and Drew Holiday, and Giannis still does what he does.
Stop it. Now you're just being disrespectful. First of all, KD is a freak, right? KD can take 9 shots, get 20 points. Like it's stuff like that KD can do.
So what are you asking? Are you asking theoretically if LeBron was on the Sixers, does that make Anthony Davis a top 5 player because he has to play with him? Or are you asking if Anthony Davis is a top 5 player right now?
I'm asking
you. What do you think?
If he was fully healthy, would Anthony Davis be a top 5
He is fully
player?
healthy. So is he a top 5 player?
Right now?
He's fully healthy right now.
How he's been playing
tonight.
How he's been playing these last 9 games? He's looking like he get back to his old self. Yes.
Okay, so rank him top 5, no order. Top 5 players right now since he's healthy. Let me hear you. Who you gonna put over him?
Yeah.
We definitely gonna play. So over him, well, I'm gonna put over him.
Yeah.
I'll put KD.
No, who are you putting Anthony Davis over in this top 5? That's what I want to know. So name me a top 5.
KD.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron. I think LeBron be like 3 because LeBron.
No, it's no order. There's no order.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
But-
Don't worry about the order.
Giannis. Yeah, all
See?
right, on to the
It's
next
tough.
subject.
It's tough. You
Yeah,
can't.
like, bro, you can't. You
Yeah.
like and I would love to put Anthony Davis in there because he is one of the most dominant players in the league. But what I'm saying is the problem is there's so much talent that is doing more with less. Is the point I'm trying to make? Is which makes them itch into that top 5. You know what I'm saying? I can't put AD over Joel Embiid right now. He's playing out of his mind. I
Okay.
definitely can't put AD over the defending MVP and Jokic because he's still doing what he's doing. He's looking even better. And I just can't put AD over Luka because at full strength, Luka's beating the Lakers by himself. I can't do that right now.
So look, do you think 37-year-old LeBron James, if he knew that Anthony Davis could take over a game, he wouldn't let Anthony Davis take over the game?
That's a good point because
No,
there's been
but-
times
but-
LeBron's been out. There's been
Yeah.
times LeBron's been out and it's been AD show and they get rolled.
Who is on that team?
You
Who-
just said LeBron's holding him back from being great.
No,
Now
stop
you're
it.
saying that
no,
who's
no,
on the
I
team?
did not say LeBron is holding Anthony Davis back from being great. I said
That's what it
I
sounds
said
like.
I said he cannot. I said he cannot do the same things that he did in New Orleans with a LeBron James on his team. He's not necessarily holding him back. There's sacrifices that have to be made.
Okay,
when
so
you're
when
playing with a
LeBron's
LeBron
out,
James.
like he's been out, right? This past week, his first game was like last night. These past 4
he
games,
came
that
back.
they all
He came
got
back
rolled.
like last Friday or something, or something like that. This past
He
weekend.
came back
He
last
came back
night.
last Friday against who were they playing? He came back
He's
like
had a
last.
sore knee for. He's had a sore knee. There was a stretch of time that he had a sore knee for like 3-4 games. They got rolled every single one, right? So I get you saying LeBron suppresses his stats playing with somebody like them. So when he comes off the floor, somebody like an Anthony Davis that you're paying upwards of $150 million over a course of X amount of years, you would expect that there would be no drop off in the competitiveness of the team, but they're getting rolled, right?
But is
He's,
that Anthony
the
Davis
reason why
fault?
the team is surrounded around him that he is because you're paying $300 million to 2 dudes. That's
Is-
y'all's own fault.
Is that Anthony Davis' fault? Because if you go
No,
look back,
but there's no
if you go
greatness
being
being shown
back,
in those losses.
if you go look back, right, with Anthony Davis stats, right, other than that first game he came back, he has had 20 something plus. The first game he came back, he had like 8 points. In like the last 4, somewhere 2 of the last 4 games, he had 30. It's not Anthony Davis' fault that they're getting rolled.
Who is playing with Luka Doncic right now with no Porzingis out there? Who else is
Yeah.
creating their own shot with Luka
Yeah,
Doncic?
great point. Actually, great point.
Who else is getting buckets with Luka Doncic? Because I saw Luka Doncic single-handedly beat the Pistons last night by himself. I saw him beat the Lakers at full strength not too long ago, and I saw him go to a scorching hot Atlanta team and beat them without Porzingis. Nikola Jokic, who is playing with him? Brandon
Yo.
Forbes, Aaron Gordon, dudes that don't create their shot, and he is beating teams. He is rolling teams. He rolled Milwaukee at full strength by himself. So if you're telling me that Anthony Davis by himself with no LeBron, because you said LeBron's suppressing his stats and his greatness. When LeBron's hurt, he can't beat an OKC team by himself. He can't beat a Portland team or whoever. I can't make an argument for the top 5. I can make an argument for a top 10. There's more wiggle room there, but a top 5, I can't do that. I can't
Here's
crack
the-
him in there with the
So-
dudes that's doing what they're doing.
Here's the other thing, though.
So where's he at? Where do you think he's at?
Top 10. But here's the
Anthony
other
Davis
thing.
is probably like number 9. Number 9. And if we're going in order right now in the league, no order for the top 5. I go Giannis. I go Braun, KD,
Embiid and Jokic.
Steph.
Luka.
Steph or Luka, Jokic or Embiid. But that locks up like the next 7. So that's why I said 80 would be like 8 or 9. And then 9 and 10 would be like James. And it's a flip-flop between Damian Lillard and somebody else.
Here's the other thing. Like with LeBron, who knows how long he's going to play. If you're the Lakers, do you think that AD can be the Batman to a team, or is he a Robin? Like that's the biggest question mark I have. Like,
I think he can be if you put the right pieces around him. You give him a
Okay.
team. You give him a team built around him. No Westbrooks and because this team is not truly built around him. What this team is supposed to be is a team kind of like a team that can shoot. It's supposed to be a team where LeBron can drive and dish out, and then you got Anthony Davis down there being in the force. But then you bring Westbrook in, who really don't fit with this situation.
They wanted. He advocated for Westbrook, so
I
that's his own
understand that,
doing.
and I'm not saying he
That's
didn't.
they did it to themselves, bro. I don't feel no sorry for them with this whole
None.
Westbrook thing.
I got
And we're not
I
gonna
got
keep
none.
holding Westbrook like he's the only sole problem on this
Yeah,
team or like that.
he keeps getting the
Nobody
blame
can
too.
make a shot.
He
Anthony
not-
Davis can't make a shot. Russell Westbrook for damn sure can't make a shot.
No.
Nobody can
Bro.
make a shot. You know what I'm
Malik
saying?
Monk.
Malik Monk is overachieving right now. He is overachieving right now. You really think he's going to keep this up at a consistent rate for the rest of the season? No.
Thank God he is.
In
Guys
his
go
role.
on,
If it wasn't.
guys go on hot runs. You know what I'm saying?
In
He's
his
overachieving
role,
right
yes,
now.
I think he can. In
So
his
what-
role,
What does that team look like? That it's you built around them. What does that team look like?
What is a team for Anthony Davis built around?
Yeah,
look
that's
like?
right. That's
what
my
I'm trying to
biggest
figure out.
question.
Because he's not a ball dominant player. He's not bringing up the court, setting up the offense.
that 1 year
You don't need
that,
to surround him with shooters, really.
that 1 year in New Orleans where they got Boogie, they got Rondo. That's a team built around AD. I'm not
They had
saying
Rondo last year, and Boogie had a stint with them last year too.
yo, that's
Okay, yeah,
Yo,
we're not
I'm-
gonna.
I'm
Yeah, we're
messing
not.
with
Yeah,
you.
we're not
I'm
gonna.
messing with
like that
I'm
don't
messing
even
with
make
you.
I can't ride with you on that one.
yeah,
messing
like
with
that. Two different times. Two different
Yeah.
So that's a team built around AD. That
You won't.
if the
You.
piece-
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
say something. You might not like it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you what I personally think it is. I think AD has padded the stats long enough, right? He's got his check. He got his ring. I think he's cruise controlling right now. I think he's cruise control right now. I don't see it in him. I don't see it in anybody on that team except LeBron. That hunger to win. And you
And-
see LeBron every post-game interview talk about being hungry, being accountable. And that stuff's not just directed to the bums on the end of the bench. That's directed to the two clowns sitting next to him, Westbrook and AD. I don't think he has that fire inside of him. Like that fire that's inside of certain guys, regardless of the circumstance or regardless of the paycheck, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna bust your ass right there. I don't see that in AD right now. So that's what
No, I see it in
separating
AD.
him.
I see it in AD now. I did not see it at the beginning of the season. I did not see it before he got hurt. But right now, I see
Sure,
that.
he didn't see it in OKC the other week. So.
Yeah, didn't see nothing.
Look,
No, I think honestly, I think AD is a Robin. Like I'm not trying to disrespect him or anything, but I don't think he's a bad man. I think he's a Robin. Like even when they won that championship, like I mean, he was playing Robin to Batman. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like,
Yeah,
but that's still LeBron. That's still LeBron. LeBron prime has ran longer than anybody. LeBron prime is compared to Drake's prime. That's the perfect comparison of LeBron's prime.
but now his prime's ending, and we're looking at Anthony Davis like,
Whoa,
all
whoa,
right,
Is
whoa.
his
man,
prime ending?
hey,
Like,
Buddy.
It's coming
my
to
friend,
an
my
end,
friend,
right?
my friend. He is
it's
the
coming
Lakers.
to an end.
It's not coming to an end. Have you seen
Where?
him play? Have you seen the man play at 37? Ain't nothing coming to no end.
yo, where is this prime coming to an end?
When he's
the
not
man,
when he's not playing, we're looking at Anthony Davis like, all right, what's up?
okay, so we talking about Anthony Davis. We talking about LeBron because you said LeBron's prime is ending.
It's
I don't
coming.
know what you're talking about because the man just dunked and his forehead was touching the rim like that. So
It is eventually coming. It is eventually going to come to an end. So we are
you're
starting to look
speculating
at
that his on his downfall.
yes. So
Okay.
we are looking at Anthony Davis like, hey, you're going to be the dude. Like he's going to be the face of the Lakers soon. Like
know-
maybe
you
not.
know, he
That's,
soon.
sound
that's
like-
what I'm saying,
know-
dude. That's what
you know-
I'm saying. Pedigree, Corey. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to get across to you, right?
Wait. Let me just say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Howard, you know who you sound like right now?
Who?
Sound like Max Kellerman saying Brady is falling off the cliff.
Oh,
That's what you sound like. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying when he's not playing, when we get the snippet of Anthony Davis, this is going to be the face. This is the future, right? This is why they paid him and bring him in. He will be eventually. He will be the future. There's no denying that, right?
Yes. That's fact.
I don't know if that. I don't
This
know.
is-
if
this
they're
is- this is
thinking
what I wanna
he's the
say, right?
future.
I think Anthony Davis elevates a team, like you said, with the right pieces, right? He
Mhm.
needs the right pieces to elevate a team. He doesn't carry a team. You know what I'm saying? Luca carries a team. You will
Primary
always be
ball handler.
competitive.
Primary
You
ball handler.
okay? Well, let's talk about bigs then. Embiid carries the team.
Primary. he
Jokic
not-
carries the team.
so these are guys that on every single play, the ball is going to.
I know, but now you're starting to you're starting to dissect it even more and more and more. He's being grouped in the class with all the greats, right? Regardless,
yeah.
there's no discrimination with the best players in the league.
Mhm.
That's who they are. They're the best players in the league for a reason, right? If we go and rank this accurately or whatever like that, I can't put him with the guys that carry their squads and elevate them. He
Tell me this.
elevates the Lakers. He can't carry the Lakers.
Tell me this. Tell me this. If the Sixers get James Harden, will Embiid do the exact same thing that he's been doing? Will his stats be the exact same if they get James Harden?
It
No,
would probably lighten the,
it
it probably
won't
lighten
be.
the load a little bit.
It will lighten the load, and it won't be the exact way with LeBron James. AD is not that.
You're missing the point. The difference between Embiid having Harden or no Harden, they still win games. That's the difference.
Yeah, they're
The
number one.
Lakers aren't winning games without LeBron, with LeBron. All
The
three of them out there,
team
no
is
three.
not built to win. The team is not built right.
But you just said with LeBron, like all this stuff you're talking about LeBron and
With
AD,
LeBron, they're not
should
winning.
be relevant, folks.
With LeBron, they're not winning. He's giving
That's
them a
what I
better.
just said.
He's giving
With
them
or
a
without
better
Anthony Davis, they're not
chance to
winning.
win, but they're not winning. So like, I don't get it. It's not like it's AD fault that they're not winning. It's not
It's
LeBron's
it's
fault
not.
that they're not winning.
But he's playing a part in the reason why they're not successful either, for the amount of money that they're giving him. Because if LeBron says I'm done tomorrow and hangs it up, this is Anthony Davis's team.
They're in trouble. Big
You know
trouble.
what I'm saying?
Is his stats still not the same? Is he still not getting points? Is he still not getting blocks? Is he still not playing his role? There's 5 other people on this court, or 4 other people on this court. LeBron playing his role, AD playing his role. Can you say the other 3 people on the court are always playing that role? Malik Monk, you're saying he overachieving right now. So he's playing his role. Now, who else is playing a role on this team?
I feel like you'd have an argument if they were like a top 3 team in the West.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
I,
But
I
like,
would,
but
I,
I
would,
can't.
I would believe it if his greatness was elevating them. You know what I'm saying? It's doing neither right now, and it's not his fault. Like you said, he's busting his ass, he's playing hard, getting the stats and all stuff like that, but they're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's why I could never put Damian Lillard in the top 5 because yes, he's cooking down there in Portland, but they're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Nowhere. Yeah.
There's a lot of guys in the league that are good, that are cooking right now, that are snapping, but their teams are moving up, the rank, and the season's still early. There's no saying that they can't turn around at
Yeah.
the end.
No. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like outside of like who's top 5, all that stuff, we're just talking about pure talent. Yes, I'd love to have an Anthony Davis on my team. Yes, but when we're talking about top 5 players, I can't put him in the top 5.
I'm picking 5 players over him too.
Howard, you couldn't put him in top. And Corey, you're making this argument, but you couldn't even put him in the top 5 right now either. And there's no knock to him. But that just shows you how deep the league is and how much talent there is in the league. That even Anthony Davis and all his greatness, can't even crack a top 5 because there's 5 dudes that is bigger and badder than him right now, playing right now in the league. And all 5 of them dudes are in the thick of the playoffs, except for KD. They in the playing tournament, but KD on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And you can't put him at the top 5. You smoking crack if you had him at the top 5.
Yeah.
Like,
So before we get into the next topic, right? I want to go off and talk about our giveaway that we're doing.
yeah.
All right.
So right now,
Money.
we got a giveaway going on. All you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on TikTok, like our most recent video, and on TikTok and YouTube, and then just DM me on the TikTok page saying that it's done. $100, free money. I don't understand why people don't want it.
Who don't love free money? And to up the ante or whatever like that, we're gonna throw in an extra 2 prizes for 2 extra lucky people that do exactly what my man Kari P just said to do, right? Like, subscribe, follow the YouTube, DM him saying done. The next 2 winners, when we do the raffle, the second person will win a $50, no questions asked, drop to the Venmo, Cash App, whatever you receive money how, except for in person. You got that. Third person, you get another little $25 drop in your account.
Y'all heard it here
So-
first. Hey, first,
Hey.
second, and third place.
First, second, and
Everybody
third
win.
place. Who don't like free money? All you got, it don't take no effort to do what the time you're taking to listen to me say this, you could have been already done it, and hit him done. Worst come to worst is you don't win. And
Free
you
money.
don't lose no, you don't cost you no money to do none of it. If
Definitely
anything,
our-
you put yourself in a position to make some money.
It's our first giveaway, but damn sure not our last. So
No,
hey,
no.
A
Ain't
lot
no.
of collaborations coming up, a lot of sponsorships that we're trying to work out and get involved with or like that. So get it while it's hot, man.
definitely. All right, let's get into this. Who do y'all think will win the most improved player this year? I got guys like John Morant, Miles Bridges, Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray, Jared Allen, and Tyler Hero. Y'all think any of them guys win it?
Probably Ja, dude.
Yeah, it's
All those guys are deserving, but
to me,
not
it's
to cut not to cut you off, but like go ahead. You go first. You go ahead first, Howard.
to me, like it's not that Ja's taking a huge step forward to me in his game, like because he has but it's not like massive like some of these other guys. But to me, as a leader of a franchise, it's like leaps and bounds. Like this dude is he is that team. Like, and the other guys, like, yeah, kind of, but like they're nowhere near what Ja's doing. Like he means so much to that team. He's a face of franchise. He's about to be the face, one of the faces of the leagues here. Like, I mean, what he's doing, it's actually
all right,
pretty
all right.
crazy.
So Ja is the cheat code to this. Let's take Ja out, right?
I think Ja's in the wrong conversation. I think Ja could be like a dark horse for an MVP conversation because we knew what we was getting with him with Ja. It's just coming to fruition now. The talent was always there.
Fast.
You know what I'm saying? So like somebody like what was his name? Darius Garland. Nobody saw this coming. Nope. Dude went from being second fiddle to Colin Sexton on a struggling team to the top guard, one of the top guards in the East, and an all-star. That's like an improvement. That's a leaps and bounds. Like when Brandon Ingram won it, he showed up in New Orleans, got him in the play-in, or I don't think they made the crack the playoffs that year, but he was an all-star, and we had his talent and showed something that he wasn't able to showcase in Los Angeles. I think the same thing's coming to fruition with Garland. He's showcasing something that he was able to showcase when he was sharing the backcourt with Colin Sexton.
But what about Miles Bridges? What about Miles Bridges? Who taking his game from 12 points last year to 19 points. I'm near 20.
He do some of everything, and he's extremely exciting to watch. You know what I'm saying? He do some of everything, and I think on the second half of the season, if they move up in the standings and they get they crack that top 6, I think it's his to lose if he can get them in the top 6 because he was the front runner in the beginning. Because I mean, dude he's creating his own shots. He's playing defense, blocking shots, always having the crazy dunks, shooting threes. The one thing that he couldn't do last year was shoot consistent threes. Now you can't just leave him alone no more. He's hitting his free throw. So right now, because they're struggling, and he's not really helping them come out the struggle right now with his stats, I think he's falling down a couple of ranks, but he's still in the mix of it. He could turn it around like that. But right now, it's one of them dudes in Cleveland. It's either Jared Allen or Darius Garland, I think. Because Hero, we all know what Hero was. Hero's a bucket getter. You know what I'm saying?
He already did that, though.
He did that last year. He did that when he had that run in the playoffs. He had his little fuego moment.
Yeah.
What about Murray?
So that's another one. I don't think he wins it, though. I don't think.
No, because
he'd have to do some. He'd have to, do something astronomical, put up some astronomical stats for that to happen. But I don't think he wins it.
It's because it's especially like the Cleveland situation. Like they're not supposed to be where they're at. Yeah, they're not supposed to be there. Well, what are they doing where they're at? Like they're supposed to be.
There's some special things going on in Ohio if you think about it. Yeah, like some special stuff going on in Ohio.
For real, like they're not really. They're not supposed to be this. They were supposed
in the water.
They're supposed to have flashes, but like they're a tough team, and I mean either one of them. Yeah, I think you got to give it to them because they're at the elevation they're bringing to the team. It's crazy. It's not just about
culture change too. I mean, they were so content with losing. Like that's what you expect from the Cleveland Cavaliers was just, they're gonna get blown out tonight. Yeah. The culture's changed. People holding each other accountable. Mm-hmm. Like they got the perfect mix of young talent, already like good talent right now, and veteran talent. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
all right. So outside y'all saying Darius Garland or Jared Allen?
I think so.
Yeah.
But Bridges, depending on what they do the second half of the season, is his to lose. I think he could run away with it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so the All-Star game coming up soon. The 3-point shootout. The contestants have been named. We got Luke Kennard. We got Patty Mills. We got Desmond Bain, Karl Anthony Towns, Zach LaVine, Fred Van Vliet, C.J. McCollum, and little ice tray. What y'all got in this game?
I want to see Cat win. I want to see a big person win. doing it for the big people, man. I want to see a big person win. But if he don't, man, because you know that thing they talk about, like there's game shooters
Yeah.
and there's off the rack shooters, and it's
Yeah.
like them dudes that like I feel like Kennard, McCollum, and Patty Mills, they're all like game shooters. I don't think they'd be good in a contest like this. I think the dudes that probably like go far, I think it'd probably be Trey, Ice Trey, and
I like Desmond Bain too.
I think Bane is a like sneaky.
Yeah.
I think Trey take it home though.
What about you, dude?
Cat don't win it because that's who I want to win it. I want Cat to win it. But if
I
Cat
got
don't
Luke
win it,
Kennard.
Man, my man. You know, I'm going Luke Kennard too.
I
Duke.
got him.
Dude,
I got
let's
him.
rise up.
I don't know. I just think he's got it. I don't
nah,
know.
you know I rock Kentucky Blue on these hoes. So I'm going with Cat. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Duke, rise up. Rise up. I think Luke Kennard gonna take this one. You feel me?
Hey,
Hey,
now listen again. Who else was on there? It was
we got Luke Kennard, Patty Mills, Desmond Baines, Cat, Zach Levine,
Zach
Fred.
Levine. That was the other one.
Fred,
No, keep going. I was just talking out loud. My bad.
Fred, CJ, and Ice Trey.
Oh, Fred. Then I didn't know Freddie All Star was in there. So I want either forget all that Ice Tray stuff. Either Cat or Freddie All Star. Because Freddie All Star was in the streets not too long ago. Wallets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going for Freddie All Star and Cat. Fred is like the superhero story. Came from undrafted, got the ring. He a first time All Star. It'd only be right he win the 3-point contest. But I
Okay.
think he's a game shooter too. I don't think he wins it, but I hope he wins it. But I'm going for
Okay.
Cat all the way.
Okay, definitely. Luke Kennard, and
Yeah.
Freddie All Star or Cat. I see it. All right, guys. Last couple of subjects. Let's get into it. Right. So the Nets right now, the eighth seed. I want to talk about the Nets and the Lakers because before the season started, who were supposed to be going to the finals? The Nets and the Lakers.
Yep.
But
That was everybody's finals.
yeah, there had been a drastic change with
Until they
the
ran
Nets,
into them boys in
eighth
purple.
seed right now. They
Phoenix
lost
Suns.
their last 9 games. What do y'all think they should do? What do y'all think will make them better? What do y'all think is up with the Nets right now?
What's wrong with the Nets? And I'm glad we bring this topic because I can't wait to get this off my chest. What's wrong with the Nets is that when you construct a roster like you have that is centered around 3 people, right? A basketball team can hold up to 12 active players. When your entire roster is centered around 3 dudes and none of them are playing, and all 3 of them dudes is making upwards of $100 million, you got to think about the talent that you're going to roll out there against NBA ready teams. Don't get me wrong. They've had a gauntlet of a schedule, though. They've played the Phoenix, Denver, the Milwaukee's. They played some good teams. You know what I'm saying? They've lost to some scrubs, too. They've lost to Sacramento and stuff like that, but they've played some good teams. You know, I feel like this team is so top heavy. Like when all 3 of them out there, they look unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? They're able to. I rephrase that. When Kevin Durant is out there, they look unbeatable. They can win against anybody because you can't go shot for shot with Kevin Durant because when he's on, he's on. You mix in KD and Kyrie, it's a nightmare of a matchup. Yeah. But when they out, especially KD is out, is where's the offense coming from? Because James Harden don't look like he's interested in scoring much lately. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie can only play for you every couple of days. Joe Harris, you're not
crazy to me.
Joe Harris, your knockdown guy, has been out since God knows when. LaMarcus looked like he was coming on before he got injured. Your big man Claxton's out. So yeah, you're rolling out your G leaguers and a couple of scrubs, a couple of guys from back then. There's only so much Patty Mills and Blake Griffin can do, and Patty Mills ain't gonna carry a team nowhere.
And I think that's the point why, like, I don't think the Nets are really hitting the panic button yet because, like, they just need to kind of get healthy. Like, they just need Kevin Durant to come back, and they're going to climb back. I don't know how far they'll get in the standings, but they'll climb back. But the Lakers, I mean,
let me
they're
ask you
losing
this.
with everybody healthy.
Let me ask you this about the Nets, right? Do you think they should try to stay outside of that top 4 just so they can have Kyrie Irving for more games?
The way it's looking in the news is they saying that it's trending towards what Jersey's doing with the whole COVID mask mandate. New York might follow suit too, as well. I mean, At this point, man, like I think they'd be lucky to even get that high.
Yeah.
With the amount of games that they're dropping, because the East is the tougher conference this year, which is the first time in a while. So I mean, but that's with any team. Who can afford to lose 9 games in a row and expect to still be in the thick of things?
Yeah.
But like we all
They are.
kind of like how we all kind of agreed on. As long as Kevin Durant,
Yeah.
easy money sniper, is out there, you know what I'm saying? The Slim Reaper, they have a
Yeah.
chance
He'll make.
because it shows
Yeah.
like in the playoffs with the Bengals, all they had to do was get in the playoffs, and everything, nothing else matters. Same thing with the Nets. They that kind of effort kind of team. As long as they get in the playoffs and they healthy, they can roll anybody. They was
So,
a big toe away from the finals last year.
facts. So like that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Let's say New York do stay that way, and let's say it was a possibility. Do you think they should try to stay outside of that, just so they can have Kyrie in case of a Game 7?
No.
At that point,
He-
it is what it is. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
like,
You gotta.
as long as Kevin Durant's healthy, I really don't care if Kyrie plays.
I mean, because when KD was
Yeah.
when it was just
I,
KD
I
and
don't really
James, I
care.
mean, there was like
Is Kevin
there
Durant
was
playing? Is he? Yeah.
yeah, when it was KD and James, they was like the third in the East. So I mean, Kyrie or no Kyrie, KD is the folk. That's the one thing that they can't live without. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can mix and match with James and Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? They're both great. They kind of do some of the same similar things at that guard position. But KD is the engine that makes this car run. You need him, and you need somebody like Joe Harris as well too. He's pivotal. You need that knockdown kind of dude because he could play defense as well. So they're lacking that on the wing.
All
And,
right.
and really,
So
if the series goes that deep, you have Kyrie for 3 games, and one of those he has to be an X factor to steal one to win a series. So like, it really to me like, it
Yeah,
doesn't really
you
matter.
can't let it go that deep. Then if you know you're not going to have him for a
Yeah.
Game 7, you can't let it go that deep. He like you said, he needs to be an X factor for one of them games and steal one of those games.
so my thing is,
Yeah.
if you're let's say you're going against a Milwaukee, you don't think it would go 7 against a Milwaukee?
That's a different beast, though. That's a different
They
beast.
gotta steal one of those early games.
Because like Milwaukee showed in the playoffs last year, they match up perfectly with not Boston, with Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? They match up perfectly. They can go shot for. That's one of the very few teams in this league at full strength that can go shot for shot with Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Because they match up so well with them.
You could
So
put
that's not a
Gian-
team you want to. That's not a team you want to go 7 games with. Because I think Milwaukee will win that 9 times out of the 10 if you don't have that third piece with Kyrie on
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying. You need. I think you should want to be below the 4th seed, just in case that. Well, they probably won't pass Milwaukee, but what I'm saying is you want them. You want it in that situation because you don't want them to have the opportunity just to switch Holiday and Middleton on James. When one get tired, just switch off. You need that third piece to keep them honest, kind of.
I don't think they should be worrying about it right now. I think they should be worrying about stacking some wins and making sure they are in the playoffs.
They are in the
When,
playoffs.
I mean,
when
yeah,
KD,
you know,
KD's supposed
like
to come back around
let's
after
talk
the
about
All-Star
this
game.
when we're at that situation. You know what I mean,
KD's supposed to come back after the All Star game, so they'll be all right.
because
They gonna make
yeah,
the
so
playoffs. As long as KD,
if
KD's at they gonna make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
if it's like 5 games left, right, and they drop 3 of the 5, and that makes them the 5th seed, yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna play our starters these 2, win those games, and we're gonna sit our starters next 3 to get that. They have that luxury to make that decision, but they don't have
Yeah,
that.
because I
Like
mean, them
right now,
first couple
all they
series,
should be focused about is getting some wins. Yeah,
because them first couple series, KD and Harden, KD and Kyrie, they could win a series. You know what I'm saying? KD can carry the load for a team and win a series. You know what I'm saying? But when you run into a team like Milwaukee, even Miami, that can match up well with them, you know what I'm saying? Because they got PJ in Miami and he guarded KD in the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals last year. When you run up into a team like that, you're gonna need all hands on deck for something like that. Those are two different beasts. I think those are two most dangerous teams in the Eastern Conference. Like Philly's good now, but I feel like if it went deep in the series, I feel like Brooklyn would pull away eventually because there's only
yeah.
so much Embiid can do. You know,
Definitely.
I mean, Trey Young beat him last year, so like,
Definitely.
we
Let's
rolled him.
let's
We
get
beat
into
him last
the
night.
Lakers situation, right? So the Lakers only won 4 of their last 10 games, right? 9th seed right now. What is the best situation for them? What do you think they need to do? Where you think the Lakers are at?
who, the
Like I told
Lakers?
you,
Honestly,
go ahead, Howard. You go ahead. You take this one.
honestly, I think they need to like stop talking to the media and they need to actually like so they're all talking about like we got to work harder, we got to want it more, we got to do this. Like stop talking about it. Like we're all tired of hearing it. Like actually like drop everything and start doing this. You know what I mean? I think they need to just actually look each other in the mirror and be like, yo, how is this team doing this bad? Like not even like don't blame the coach. Like seriously, how are we as a team like this Montana playing this bad? Like they gotta have a players meeting or so. Like seriously, like no more talking. Like it's either put up or shut up. And LeBron needs to lead this charge. He does. He's like, hey man, I got like I'm a winner. I've got rings. Like what's going on? Like what do we as a team as players? Because you can't blame like the coaches. I mean, I'm not blaming the coaches in this one. The players are at fault right here. Like, what do we need to do so we can get on the same page and start rolling some teams? Because they really should be rolling teams. They really should.
Are
That's
they
what I
still
think.
balled in?
I mean, they got LeBron. Why not?
I mean, I think it's they got too many Chiefs and not enough Indians on their squad, and the Indians that they do, they're not even playing them. You know what I'm saying? They went out and
Yeah.
signed every possible veteran that they could possibly find that had a name attached to him right there, and it doesn't mesh. It's not working. You know what I'm saying? It's not clicking. And then they're stuck, like I said, they're stuck within their own experiment with this Russell Westbrook thing because he's too expensive to buy out, for one. He's too expensive to trade, and he's too good in his own right to just cut outright. Because why would you pay him all that money and not have him? You know what I'm saying?
Ranking
So
wise,
they're stuck in that experiment. The only person they could possibly trade Russell Westbrook for would be John Wall. But Houston's not going to do that because they want to get rid of. They're in the same situation with John Wall. They're trying to get rid of that money.
yeah.
So
Ranking wise, how high do you think they can get to?
they're probably like 7, like last year, 7 or 8,
7 or 8.
I
7 or
think
8.
the highest 6. And to your point, Kayla, like all these dudes, you know, why'd they come to LA to play for a championship, right? And they came to play for a championship because of LeBron, right? So they need to go and be like, hey, LeBron, what do I need to do? Because obviously, like me just showing up and putting a jersey on, do we need to do to help you? Because that's what's going on. Like some of these dudes just ain't doing anything. Like just putting a jersey on, run out there and expecting LeBron to win him a championship.
I mean, do you feel like LeBron?
That's what it
'cause
is.
We've seen this with LeBron where he gets frustrated with his team. You know what I'm saying? And he just shuts down or like that. Do you think he's getting to that point where he's frustrated and it's just like, man, y'all do whatever y'all
Yes.
want to do?
It's about.
He's
Well, I feel like
37.
this
You see
season
the
for LeBron, it's about chasing
interview?
Kareem. I feel like it's about going after the stats right now, going to get more points, going to get because he's doing everything he can do.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's like nothing more he can push out.
How would you feel? How would you feel? 37 years old, and you got Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis. You bring your boy Melo. You bring all these guys in, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna make a championship run, and this is what's on the court. Like this is what's happening. How would you feel?
Definitely.
because bro, LeBron needs to be LeBron, the NBA player, and not be the GM. Not every move LeBron has ever made in his career that he's wanted always pans out. He advocated for Russell Westbrook. They were ready to trade Kuzma, Trez, and KCP to Sacramento for Buddy Hyde and I think somebody else or Bagley, Buddy Hyde and Bagley, and he didn't want that. He wanted Russ.
So let me ask you this.
He advocated for this conundrum of this ego that they got going on between the three of them because they all heavy ego players or whatever like that.
Let me ask
if
you
that
this.
makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
If we have if Russ was playing like he was playing last year, would they be in a better situation?
I don't think Russ can be himself in this offense. He can't be what he was in Washington last year. What he can do here, they're not letting him do that. That's the problem. Russ is most effective when he has the ball in his hands at all times.
Yo, Russ is in his head right now. That and he's also lost a bit of athleticism from last year. Like Russ not getting up like he used to get up from last year. Russ he wasn't like never the greatest like shooter, but he was an okay mid-range shooter. Now it's just like Russ can't buy a basket.
Yeah, because he can't get in. For one, his confidence isn't there, right? Like you said, he's in his head. He's afraid to shoot because
every game.
yeah, as I'm saying, he's afraid to shoot because if he shoots, he misses. He's going to the bench, right? for one. So he got that choker chain on him for one. For a player that's used to playing freely and needs to play free to be effective, that's not a good mix. And two, or like that, he can't get in a rhythm because he's in a. If you see, they giving him the Ben Simmons treatment on offense, right? They come down the court, and when have you ever seen Russ go sit in the corner in the 3-point line? Never. Russ is usually flying up the court, kicking it to somebody else. But they don't want him to do that. So it's not a good mix. He can't be himself in this offense.
To me, Russ got to learn to play winning basketball. I feel like that's all it is. Russ is not like he's not accustomed to playing winning basketball. He's accustomed to playing basketball for stats. And with him playing basketball for stats, yeah, he can do all this. He turned the ball over. Who cares? But when it's time to play winning basketball, you can't just turn the ball over. You can't go 50 miles an hour all game. Sometimes you gotta hit that half court set. Like
How many do you have this stat? How many times since he's been in the league he's missed the postseason? Because he showed up to Washington, right? They hadn't made the playoffs in years. He had him in the playoffs.
which is fine. Yo, the playoffs.
He had Houston in the playoffs all every year that he was there in Houston.
Playoffs are fine, right? But when you get around LeBron, it's about finals. What good is it to make the playoffs if you're going to get bounced first, second?
No,
round?
you said he needs to learn how to play winning basketball. I think he's done that for a good portion of his career.
But
'Cause he's played in meaningful games. He's been in the finals once with OKC, and that was when he was extremely young. You know what I'm saying?
yo,
So I get what you're saying.
anybody can make it. Not like any team can make it to the playoffs, right? I'm not gonna say that, but like if you're a decent enough player, and which Russell Westbrook is at an MVP level, which he has been, he can make the playoffs.
The thing about Russ is he's not the kind of player that can come in and conform his game is predicated on his athleticism and his reckless abandonment when going to the rack and setting up players and grabbing boards and stuff. There isn't a secondary role for him outside of doing that. You get what I'm saying? So when he showed up to LA and they can't allow him to be that, he looks like a shell of himself there. I feel like he has a lot of basketball left if he was in an offense like that. And I kind of put that on LeBron as well. As smart and as great of a basketball as LeBron is, why hasn't he found a way to integrate that style of play that he is known to within their offense? Because I feel like they could use a jolt of juice in that offense rather than him sitting in the corner.
You know what that role is? You know what that role is? A six man. That's what that role is at this point. Yo, you let the starters go out, get a lead, whatever, and you come in and you play with your reckless abandonment and you keep the lead. That's what that role is for Westbrook right now. But I don't think Westbrook will accept that role.
It's not even that Westbrook will accept the role. I don't think management will allow him to play that role. You're not going to pay Westbrook $100 million for the next 2 years to be a six man. So they need to figure it out. That's the point I'm trying to make is they have to figure out how to integrate him because they're stuck in this. They're stuck with him right now. There's nobody trading for him.
If Westbrook if Westbrook was a six man, right? He averaged 18, 7, 7, right? They're winning games and they win the championship. Do you think management will really care that Westbrook is coming off the bench?
Let's see it. Then the coaching staff. Now this is not the coaching staff. The coaching staff have to pitch that idea. You know what I mean? They have to pitch it not only to. I honestly, at this point, I'm talking to Russ first, and then I'm letting management know that Russ is on board with this, and then we're gonna do it. Because right now, Frank, if the way it is, Frank, he's getting fired.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna get. That's the thing. I was literally about to say that. If he keeps toying with the lineup with the high dollar player, which is Russ right there, benching him, having him come off the bench, man, it's gonna look like, okay, we got $100 million sitting on the bench, which we could put towards fixing this roster, but you don't want to integrate him into the offense and find a way for him to be effective for that $100 million. Because management's job is the bankroll of the team. The coaching staff is the product, which is the team and what they're putting out there. So he's playing with fire. He's gonna get himself fired. The Lakers want to. When you have all these great players, they're gonna want to be competitive. And the first person they're gonna look at is they're not gonna trade LeBron. They're definitely not getting rid of AD. They can't get rid of Russ. So the only other variable in this equation would be the coaching staff because they can't figure out how to make this work with the three of them.
So I'm not saying that it is Westbrook's fault, right? I don't think it's just completely on Westbrook. I don't want to pile it on Westbrook, right? But if Westbrook is not being efficient, why would you have him in the closing lineup? If he's not being efficient and he's not going to play defense, and y'all are in close games, why put him in to lose? Frank Vogel is going to get fired either way. The only way to save Frank Vogel's job is for him to win games.
I get
So
that.
he got
And
to
if
do what is
taking
best
him,
for him to win games.
and the thing is, if taking him out of the closing lineup was amounting to wins, it would make sense. Everyone would be on board. Okay, this is the closing lineup. This makes sense. They're taking him out for Taylor Horton Tucker and still losing. Taking him out from Malik Monk and still losing. Keeping him in there and still losing.
Do they win the so that exactly? So if do you think Westbrook will give them a better chance of winning?
It doesn't even matter at this point. They're stuck
Yes.
with him. That's what though. That's why y'all. That's what y'all can't wrap around your mind. He's on the Lakers for the foreseeable future. There's no team in the league that is going to take Russell Westbrook's contract right
Which
now
is fine.
at 33.
Which is fine. But what I'm asking you is, does Westbrook being in the final lineup help them win? Does that give them a better chance at winning?
I'm gonna say it like Mark Jackson said. I can't bench greatness because you don't know what he could do. He was a superstar. We was talking about him like the greatest thing since sliced bread last year when he was racking up all them triple doubles in Washington. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a facet of his game and there's a certain talent that rests within him that doesn't rest in Taylor Horton Tucker and Malik Monk. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Yes, he's having a rough go right now.
Yeah,
But
right now. And that's all we can go off of. Do Russell Westbrook shoot threes? Well,
no, he never has.
Not well.
do Russell Westbrook play defense?
I mean, what classifies as playing good defense? Because I mean, not many players in the league play great
Do-
defense.
Do Russell Westbrook turn the ball over a lot?
Yeah, he do.
So these are all vital things at the closing game that going to guarantee a loss.
So I'll agree with you on one thing. Frank Vogel's going to get fired regardless. So you're right. He should. You know what? Why not have him come off the bench? Why not? I'm going to get fired either way. If it works, I'm a genius. If it doesn't, I'm still getting fired. Why not? I mean, they're at that point where it's like, why not? And if
But what
and
about
if it
when you
works,
get
like
to
I
the
said, you're a
playoffs, right?
genius.
What about when you get to the playoffs, right?
That's what got us there. That's why I'm going to keep
No.
playing the way
I'm
it
saying
got me there.
say that because this is all speculative talk. This ain't gonna happen. He's not coming off the bench. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's
Probably
never
not.
gonna happen.
Yeah, never.
I'm saying if they keep the lineup how it is, right, and they get to the playoffs, right, and speculating, say there isn't a Horton Tucker available or a Malik Monk available in a playoff game, who are you going with over Russell Westbrook then? Because
Nobody.
don't you think you would want to keep him while y'all are working out the kinks of your team? Don't you think you would want to keep him in that closing lineup so there's continuity within that closing lineup? So when you get in them pressure games, because Russell Westbrook is battle tested, he's got mad hardware to back it up. Don't you think you would want that continuity between arguably your three best players of your team in a closing lineup?
And
As I
that's
say,
why
he's
they're
battle
gonna,
tested. He's lost a lot of good games. A lot
that's
of
why
tough
they're gonna
games.
keep him in the lineup.
He's very battle tested.
That's why they're going to keep him in the starting lineup. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But what you said earlier is where Westbrook do. He pushed the ball, he go full speed, and he don't got a role, and he don't fit this offense.
That's what I'm
with
saying. I
LeBron
don't
James.
understand why they bring him there
They
because they don't
shouldn't
have the personnel to run with him.
They shouldn't
Everybody's
have.
old as hell and they don't shoot well. They bring in all these old shooters that don't shoot well. So he can't shine in this offense because he's not
he
a
can.
shooter.
He can. You know why he can? Because that's where you play him and a Dwight Howard. You bring them in with the second unit, and you let Dwight Howard play that Steven Adams role. Yo, he the one that got Steven Adams a contract. Russell Westbrook got Steven Adams his contract when he got $100 million. Russell Westbrook did that because Russell Westbrook learned that, hey, I can do this pick and roll. I can get through, go through. People going to jump when I go up. I can drop it off. Dwight Howard get quick dunks. That's what Steven Adams was doing, and that's what Dwight Howard can do. That second unit will be perfect for Westbrook, and they can keep a lead.
Also, there's another thing. I ain't bring up that might play a major factor in contradicting my argument is, the mental state of Russ. You know what I'm saying? He's been known to be a very stubborn player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it would probably hurt the team more telling him that he's going off the bench and there's nothing he could do about it than it would just letting him run in the starting lineup. Like I said, bro, they are stuck within their own experiment and they did it to themselves. Like
I don't feel bad for him. No.
So all right, let me ask you this. After this year, the year after this is up, is Westbrook still in the league?
In the league, yeah,
Someone.
hell yeah. In the league, yes.
Is he
There-
still a starting point guard in the league? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me.
Somebody will give him a shot. Somebody will.
Will he
He'll be
still
a
be a
Detroit
starting point guard in
Pistons.
the league for a winning franchise?
Winning,
For a
no.
winning franchise?
No.
Mm. See, Washington was perfect for him because they was like that tweener kind of team, and they needed somebody like that to push the pace. And Brad welcomed it because he didn't want to play point guard, be the shooting guard, and be the entire team. He needed, somebody to play off of. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, on the Lakers, there's too many Chiefs and not enough Indians right there. He can't shine there. So if he found a situation similar to Washington, where it's like a tweener team and he could step in and kind of be himself, then yeah, I mean, I could see him being effective again.
I think he goes to a bad team, makes a lot of money, and sells a lot of jerseys, and he has some nice statistical games. But I don't see a winning team after this experiment taking him on, especially knowing how much money
Go see
he's
New
going to
York
want.
taking him on.
God knows. Oh my God. I honestly, that might be the last straw for me.
See,
I would be.
I feel like Russell Westbrook, after this big contract is up, his best bet is to take the route that Carmelo took. That's his best bet.
Yeah, I would too.
You can be
Because
a
if he going into free agency demanding big dog money or like that, he's not gonna be like you said. He's not gonna be in the league.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna give like same with John Wall. Nobody is going to give you that money ever again. And what you did on the court warranted you getting that money. So that's cool. But now, what you are right now, you're not getting that. It's like you. That's a perfect example. It like if he takes a backseat role somewhere, right? Like Melo does, coming off the bench, and all stuff like that, accepts his role, he could prolong his career another 7, 8 years if he wanted to, or maybe like 5 more years and collect some more checks on his way out the door. Because he's made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. He's got a production studio, which is pretty dope as well. So he's set money wise. But if he still wants to play basketball, like you said, I think that'd be the best route to go for him.
But is he going to? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't know. He's
Yeah.
the kind of guy that wants to retire. Like if he's gonna not play basketball, he's gonna play basketball on the top of his game. He's not gonna want to go out like that. And that's
Yeah,
just how
he's
his
gonna-
ego is.
He's
You know
going
what
to play
I'm saying?
with heart. He's going to run up and down the court as fast as he can.
And that's the thing, dude. Like of anybody on that team next to LeBron, I think he has the most heart on the team. But it's like a shell of himself, and it's weird. Maybe it's because we've seen him for decades dominate, the way he has, and now seeing him like this, it's like, damn, like
Put
what
a
happened?
yellow down.
And it's easy to blame him because it's he's the odd man out. You know what I'm saying?
He gets made fun of
And I-
everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Facts. I don't.
Easy to hate. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
definitely gonna stay tuned for this. But that's gonna wrap up our show today. Let's pump this promo one last time. Go ahead, K. Wall, pump it for us.
Not one, not two, but 3 prize winners. If you sign up, subscribe, like the podcast, follow us on the YouTube, all the other social medias. Kari's got the steps below the video. He's got it on the TikTok. DM him on whatever platform you choose, saying that you're done. We'll check the Carfax on it, enter you in the raffle, you can win some free money. 100 the first, 50 the second, 25 the third.
All you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on TikTok, like our last video on YouTube and TikTok, and message me on TikTok saying all done. And you will be entered in a raffle to win this money.
No brainer.
Free money. Easy
Free
pay.
money. We in a pandemic. We trying to make y'all's pocket look like y'all in a pandemic. So enter.
I'm with it. I'm with it. All right, y'all. Well, that wraps up Staying in Bounds, the sports podcast for the people. I'm your host, Kari P. Here alongside K. Wall and Howard. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube. On the Stay in
Basically,
Bounds
whatever
podcast.
social media or listening platform you on, just type in Stay in Bounds and we there. All right.
We there. Top
We
of the
there.
list.
We everywhere. All right. So it ain't hard to find neither. So don't even play that when we doing this promo neither.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace.